Hey people, it's me again, Acidic Dram. Second day of vlogging again, and to recap yesterday, I went to my appointment, and it seems like it's going to be pretty straightforward. I hope the I can tell actually since I've been doing the keto diet for the last few weeks, I can tell that I'm trimming down a little bit, so I've been feeling better with that. But anyway, so the appointment went well. The staff there are sweet. The nurse, the receptionist, and the nurse there was sweet. The doctor is cool, and busy guy. You can tell they're a busy office, and didn't have that much time. But he was straight down to the fact. And anyway, we discussed getting the surgery. So he said he wanted to do it in two different phases. One would be the gastric sleeve. And we'll see how I do well with that. He said basically, we'd go with that until we stall out on weight loss, and then and he goes, I may maybe do good on it. If that's it, that's great. And he goes, and if I do stall out and I need to lose more weight, there's another procedure called the Duwendal switch, which is basically the first step would be removing. It's like I think the first step for the gastric sleeve is where they actually remove 70% of the stomachs, and it's just that basically it keeps like a it keeps like 15-20% I think of the stomach, and it just it's a straight shot, so it reduces the size of the stomach. And then the Duwendal switch would be actually doing the gastric bypass surgery, where it would just leave the pouch and it would do whatever that does, just bypassing certain parts of the stomach and whatnot. So I'm pretty optimistic about it. So I have 3 things I need to get accomplished before the next appointment, which is I have to get meet with the nutritionist, which I have scheduled for next Thursday at 9:30 a.m. It's a telemed kind of thing, so we'll do that over Skype or whatever, Google Meet, whatever, and that will be Thursday. I'm looking forward to that. The second is to have the psychological exam, which I have to fill out all the intake paperwork and whatnot, and that is scheduled for July 14th, I believe. So I have that, and then my next follow-up appointment with them is in July, at the end of July. So, and the third thing I need to do is get my doctor to write a letter, letter for me, advocating for me to get the surgery. And I have my appointment with my primary care doctor on July 5th. So that's good. So everything's lining up pretty good. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be it's a bigger change than it's going to be a huge change, because coping mechanisms for me has always been basically eating sweets and whatnot. So if I'm on a pretty good path now with the diet I've been following, with the keto diet, I've noticed that my cravings for sweets have dwindled. I'm avoiding sugars and avoiding breads. I do have a few like carb friendly items. There are some wraps and whatnot that are like 1 or 2 carbs, net carbs. So that's a good replacement for me. But I've been eating a lot more vegetables and stuff, and like avocado. I fucking hated avocado. Don't even know why I hated it, just because it was green, I guess. But that's one of my favorite things now to eat with salads and tucking it in meals. But what was I going to say? I thank you for the ones who reached out, Steve. I really appreciate your message yesterday on my video. That means a lot to me. One thing, and Erica too, I thank you for reaching out on my Instagram message. I really appreciate both of your kind words and vote of support. It means a lot. It really does. One of the things I have a problem with is actually leaning on people and for support. You're right, Steve. There's a lot of people out there that will be cheering for me, that family and friends and acquaintances that that will support me on this new lifestyle that I will be encroaching on. And that's true. I didn't even realize how much support I had out there. going through a couple different life issues right now as well. And one good thing is I realized that I have a lot of my aunt and uncles are, and even my mom, and my mom too. If my mom watches this, I'm not denigrating you, because I know I have your support. So that's not questioned. So I'm just saying, like, I have an uncle that I've been speaking with on and off the last couple weeks, and we haven't talked in years. So it was nice. We have a conversation like every other Saturday. It goes on for a couple hours, good convo. I mean, I do miss my family, and it was nice, taking a couple hours out of the week and, talking to them. And it's nice. I mean, I want to get brave enough to call my other aunts and uncles too. It's hard to do, because I've been away for so long and don't know how to approach it. And that's the same thing with friends too. Like my friend Lowell. He's been super sweet over conversations on Instagram and whatnot. I've been absent from a lot of friendships and family for so long, and it's not because of anything they did. It's out of my shame and out of how I feel about myself, and how it's like I said yesterday. I think in yesterday's video, how I said that being obese, morbidly obese, is a selfish disease / condition. You get so wrapped, I won't say you, I'll say me. I get so wrapped up in my head and beginning to feel how, that I'm unimportant, or I'm not worth it, or not, not worth the effort. And, it's not, and when you get in that slump, it's so hard to get out of, because you just kind of spiral. Because I kind of spiraled out of control. To where just like you just go on autopilot, literally go on autopilot for for hours, days, weeks, months, years, and then when you wake up and realize that you're trying to do something, you can't. Or if you have some sort of affliction, such as like leg infections, and I have some other swellings that happens in my body, and I realize that it's taken away so much from my enjoyment of life. And it affects on other people too. It's like I'm not proud of the fact that I disappeared from people's lives and not kept up. That's not cool. I mean, it's like there's a it's not cool, because it's not just a punishment. It's not a punishment on them at all. It's a punishment on myself. It's as they say in football, it's a self-own. It's a self-goal. So. It's a hard life to live, and being so I guess the word is ashamed, so you don't want to put out on other people. But when you get out in the world, it's like you find out that 98% of the people really don't give a fuck who you are or what you do or who you are or what you are. It's just that 2% that you worry about. I had a doctor, Wolf Ehrlich, and he even said that. He goes, 80% of the stuff you worry about will never happen. And he goes, and that 20%, he goes, and 100%, he goes, 99% of that 20% that might happen isn't going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. So it's, I've been blessed with a lot of people in my life, giving advices. It's too bad that I'm learning it now, like 10 years later, 15 years later, 20 years later. But, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't mature enough, because I still feel like, I'm going to be 49 this year in July. I don't look 49, hardly have a few grays here, maybe a couple up here, but I don't look like I'm 49. I don't feel like I'm 49. I feel like I'm fucking 15 still. Maybe that's an age where I stopped maturing, because I still feel like a kid. I don't feel like an adult. So, and the problem with that is, I lived with my parents until I was 26. Then I met Amy, and I moved to Connecticut, and we lived in her parents' apartment until 4 years ago. And then we've been on our own for 4 years. We've owned this house for 4 years. So so it's different. I didn't give myself enough credit to see how much I could actually be self-reliant, and actually be able to do stuff, and not relying on leaning on other people. But there's a lot of history going on in my childhood and my teenage years, and my 20 somethings, and it's just it's a lot of environment issues for me. It's a lot of situations I found myself in and how I reacted, and it's a life lesson. Like there's a thing that Jordan Peterson said, that you wake up in your 40s and you realize that you've wasted a long time, and you wake up in your 40s, you're gonna have a really hard time to reconcile that. And that's true. I mean, it is true. It's like I kind of I lived my life with my eyes closed, and just like a leaf on the wind, and just live day to day without really having, any goal or any purpose, or actually having, really having, just literally floating through life, doing nothing, and having nothing to really look forward to. Which is tough to do. I'm a pretty likable guy. I'd like to think, I can make friends pretty quickly, but the issue is maintaining that friendships and relationships with people. It's like I didn't really have that when I grew up. I grew up in a single parent home. I didn't have a father, didn't know my father, and that's a whole different story. I'm not gonna get into that. But that's an early thing. In a childhood, it's really important to have those relationships to to show you, because otherwise you live in fear. My mom lived in had a lot of fear in her life, and it rubbed off on me. And as much as I don't want to emulate my mother's behaviors or my grandmother's behaviors or what I think they are, I might be wrong. I'm following in their footsteps, and that's a hard thing to realize, that you fall into their footsteps. And again, I don't know my grandmother very well. I grew up with her and everything, and like with my mom, I don't know my mom very well. We talk 2 or 3 times a week, and more so than often, but I really don't know her very well. Because there's a lot of conversations that are hard to have, and a lot of them, they're hard to have. And but anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. It's going on 12 minutes. This is pretty long, and I should get back to work. My coworkers, they don't tell me when they're on breaks, and they don't tell me when they come back from work. But I got to be responsible in that aspect, at least, and be respectful to my employer. So that's it. All I have. So the next goals that I'm looking forward to, things I'm looking forward to for this coming up week, I'm looking forward to my phone call with my uncle tomorrow. I'm going to reach out to him tonight to make sure our call is still on. Then I'm going to try to fly my drone more often. So I'm going to try to upload a vlog like this daily, and I'm also going to try to do a drone flight daily as well. I can't promise those, but I'll do my best, because I do want to get out there and fly a little bit more, because it's a lot of fun. And since I haven't flown in a while, I'm getting really kind of hesitant, a little scared to actually fly it, because I'm terrified of hitting trees, or hitting wires, or losing range and hitting something, and God forbid hitting somebody with a drone. That would be, and I don't fly low, so that's I try not to fly over populated areas. But anyway, so that's about it. Things I'm looking forward to. Again, my phone call with my uncle. And my next goals over the next couple weeks is I have my nutritionist meeting on Thursday at 9:30 a.m. And then I have my primary care doctor appointment on the 5th. Then I have my therapist appointment on the 7th. That's a therapist I speak to bi-weekly, monthly thing to check in on life, and basically I hire him to be my friend, so I can talk to him and get advice and whatnot. So but anyway, he's helpful. He gives a lot of perspectives on stuff. And then next appointment with that would be the psychologist, and then the appointment with the surgeon again to see where I stand. Oh, and the PCP to get the letter. Anyway, that's about it. I'm rambling on. This is like almost 15 minutes. Okay, anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow when I upload a video. Hopefully I have a drone video too. We'll see. And maybe I'll upload some cooking stuff too. If you follow me on Instagram, I do cook a lot lately. That's one of my hobbies that I've developed over the last few months, is that I do enjoy cooking. The only problem is I enjoy baking a lot too. Cookies and, cakes and stuff, but I have to try to develop some more recipes that will be a little bit more friendly for me, ketogenic friendly. Anyway, I'm out. You have a great evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, bye.